Okay, d4. I'm going to play knight f6. Okay, yeah, it's keeping up to date. It still says unstable, but it does seem to be a stream. So he plays the knight c3 move. He could be planning some kind of, it's a type of London system, sometimes called the Jobava London. So I'm going to play like this. It blocks the bishop. I'm going to bring my knight out here, my bishop here. This bishop here. It's a very modest setup, but it doesn't give the London system anything to bite on. So you get to develop, and the game proceeds from there. It's probably about even because the London system is a very modest setup as well. And it's a little different than the normal London lines, so you're not walking into a system that your opponent knows backwards and forwards. The setup here is called a Queen's Indian type of setup with the knight here and the bishop here with the fianchetto. So it's a type of Queen's Indian defense, but he didn't play the main line, d4, c4. So it's not, technically it's not a Queen's Indian, but a type of defense to the London system. Yeah, as you can tell from my voice, I actually had a little 24-hour flu or cold on Friday. And I felt better the next day. So it's not like I've been sick the whole time since Friday, but it just lasted for 24 hours where I felt bad. But the thing that did happen, which is sort of annoying, is it messed up my sleep cycles. So that's why I'm having this stream kind of late today. I normally stream, 2 hours earlier than this. So I will stream. Since I'm a little bit sleep deprived, this might be a shorter stream than usual, but I will do what I can. So now he wants to push one of these pawns. If he pushes this one, I have to move the knight here. And he could kick it again. And I really don't have squares to go to after that. So actually, I would really like to meet the threat of that e5 by playing e5 myself. But if I do that, he'll just take it. Okay. Kind of a funny move, but gives the knight a square to go to. Oh, maybe he's going to do a clever sacrifice of some kind here. Let's use the bishop to reinforce this pawn, so there's no valid sacrifice there. And then I can push this, because now I have the rook as well as the knight defending the square. He just has the knight and bishop attacking it, so we're good. Pawn takes, and then he's got to retreat his bishop. Unless he wants to sacrifice it. And after that is moved, let's see, I could bring my knight out here and see if he wants to move his bishop. Also gang up on this pawn. I guess he could take my knight. But that would deprive him of his good bishop. Yeah, and I could, if he takes my knight, I could take back with my bishop. Because I no longer have to fear a sacrifice here. Yeah, let's just go back. I guess I need to keep this defended, don't I? Let's do it this way. Keep the rook defending it. Keep up some pressure over here. Threaten to take. Although probably I should defend here first, huh? Yeah. Let's push this pawn forward. Okay, he wants to kick me around with his knight. Yeah, let's go here. I didn't want my queen to continually be kicked around. I don't especially want a queen trade, but I didn't want to move it where it could be kicked again by his knight or something. So he can trade or he can move his queen away, and then I will kick his knight. With the bishop here, I have no fear of playing this pawn move. So having said that, maybe that means he really should have put his queen here. So he could still take. And I would have to play some sort of preparatory move before playing g6 there. Oh, the queen was looking at this square. I missed that. I missed that. So I could trade. And then take his knight. I mean, that's two pieces for a rook. A rook and a pawn. Okay, so now what? He might try to push this pawn forward and mate me here, huh? So let's actively resist that plan by chasing the queen off this diagonal. Okay, so yeah, the connection has been gone for 10 minutes. I guess it's still live. It still says unstable, but at least the window that I have that shows the stream is keeping up with the game. So hopefully I'm out there. I'm out there broadcasting. Sorry about my voice. I do try to have a better voice than this most of the time. Well, I should take his queen if it goes there. I almost moved my king. That's a good example of why you should check for tactics before you before you make your move. Yeah, check to see if your opponent just hung a piece. Your basic blunder check. You know, that's a point. I usually think of blunder checks as, well, you come up with your move and then you do a blunder check in your mind to see if there's the move you just made is a blunder, if it has some hidden weakness or not so hidden weakness. There's some immediate way for your opponent to punish it. But actually, the blunder check should be played first. You should do a blunder check first. See if your opponent made a blunder and take advantage of it. Then if there's no blunders for you to take advantage, then you try to come up with a move, and then you do a blunder check on your own move to see if your opponent can take advantage of your move. Let's get another game. Okay, how about a Sicilian? Another good player. Well, evenly matched. I've been running into a lot of people playing an immediate or later, immediate or sooner, bishop to c4, an early bishop to c4. That's the way to phrase it. So I'm starting to play these e6 lines more because that makes that bishop c4 move pointless, and some people play it anyway. That was maybe a little mistake. And slight move order inaccuracy. I should have brought this knight out here first. That's kind of the point of this idea with the queen here. You can stop this pawn from coming forward. Anyway, I get the knight here anyway. I can take off this guy if I want to. Before this move is played, white often defends with the bishop here. This pawn may come under fire. Here, let's poke that knight and see what it wants to do. He just defends it. Okay, so I have to be careful about having this bishop defended. Let's drop all the way back here so it's defended by the rook. And get castled. And he's got this bishop here looking down this diagonal, but I don't have to respond to that, actually. I can just leave this pawn structure as it is. He's not threatening to come into this weak square here. Let's see. Yeah, and the reason I wanted to retreat this bishop all the way back here was so I could play this b pawn forward and bring this bishop out here. So I'm planning to leave this structure in place. And he's always got to keep an eye on this guy here. So now if he takes the knight, I'll take back with the bishop defending this pawn against the battery. But to avoid having my pieces tied down, I'm probably going to bring a rook over to the d file here. I'm not sure which one yet. Maybe this one. Although it is leaving my king side devoid of pieces, but I don't believe he has an effective attack there yet. Since he can't chase my knight away. Okay, so he just defended his... securely defended his e-pawn. Yeah, let's put the rook here. And the other rook can go here, and I can do some kind of knight to here maneuver. That might be fun. So he just takes it. Okay. Like I said, we take back with the bishop. That's true. I had to make sure I kept this guy defended at all times. I was talking about my maneuvers over here on the queen side. I could take with the queen. It's a check. Why not? He ran. Okay, now let's put the rook on the c file. At this moment, he can actually push the e-pawn forward, and I might just retreat with my knight. Okay, but he didn't. Now my plan is to push the d pawn here. This is well defended, right? Queen takes, rook takes, queen takes. I'll be up. So I'm threatening to take here. He can't push, and if he takes, I can take back with the bishop or the knight. Whatever. Is the knight better or the bishop? Start with the bishop. Then I could take with the rook. Why not? Double on the open file. Let's see, queen here would hit this knight, but he can always move the knight. Can he move it though? Yeah, that's defended by the queen there. Knight or rook, that's the question. If I take with the knight, rook might get, there might be a pin on the rook, so let's stick with the rook. Keep the knight where it is. Figure out the knight maneuver later. I have the queen looking at this checkmating square, but yeah, that's the other thing I could do. I could bring the knight here, the rook here. I was going to say I can't put the knight in here, but I can put the rook in here. That might induce some weaknesses. What'll he probably do? Push the pawn forward. Can't defend with the knight. Can't defend with the queen. Now, if I had a queen here and then I sacrifice the rook, it takes back, then it's just check, 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 and it's a draw. Yeah, there's not a lot going on in this position. That might be the best I can do. I'll put the queen here and see if I can come up with anything. I have an open back rank. I have a back rank problem, as they say. Because the king has nowhere to run. He just needs to get a rook or a queen down here on the back rank, and I'm toast. But if I have him in the checkmate or a draw, then I could still threaten to win with a move like this. So he doesn't want me to draw. If I take with a check, takes. I take here with check, he goes here. I don't have this check anymore, so I can't get a sequence of checks that draws. So let's put the queen here to defend the open file. Now let's what is the best defense here? How about if I just come out with the king? So if I move my knight, the queen comes here with check, I trade, the rook comes here with check, the king just steps up. No problem. Yeah, he's getting short on time. So I could put my knight here. I don't know what that is. So now I sacrifice the knight to take here with check. He moves the king. The queen comes in with check. He blocks with the queen. I take the rook. I think that's a good sacrifice. He takes a pawn. I guess that's a valid response, isn't it? No, it's not. Yeah, that wasn't valid at all. That's because I can move the knight with check and then take the rook. And thank you for the follow, Starman Legend. So hope you're enjoying the stream. This is a later time than usual, but I was explaining earlier in the stream that I had a had a 24-hour cold or flu on Friday, and then my sleep schedule was messed up for the next 2 days. Had trouble sleeping at night and slept late during the day. So I didn't get my stream started on time. So this is later than usual. But I feel okay. My voice still sounds funny, but I'm feeling okay. And I've been playing okay, which is a sign usually that I'm healthy. So anyway, I'm going to play for a few more games and then maybe call it a stream. But anyway, thanks for stopping by and checking it out.